What's up, everybody?
That's way too loud.
There you go. Hold on. Happy Friday on Thursday. It's the Nerd Den on Thursday because we're leaving for Bitcoin Nashville. So we're doing Bitcoin Nashville next week. And I'm actually leaving kind of early. I'm leaving tomorrow. So we thought we were doing tonight. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Hey.
What's up, guys? How are you?
I have to tell you, I did something, and of course I told it to Avery ahead of time that I was planning on doing this, and I told him, I said, this was actually inspired by Todd and Dusty, and as soon as I said it, he knew exactly what I was talking about, and he kind of was chuckling because he knows how often I take direction and then ignore it until I come up with the idea and then think, oh my gosh, what a great idea. I should really do this. Not realizing that somebody else gave it the idea to me months to weeks or years ago. And it happens to him all the time. He'll tell me something, I'll forget it. But I started doing shorts on my comic channel.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons is on my scam channel, and this is going into the numbers, into weeds, but my videos, I do a daily video on my scam channel, and it can get anywhere from 800 to 1,500 views in the first 24 hours.
Yeah.
But it gets maybe 2, 3, 4 subscribers. Whereas my shorts can get anywhere from 800 to 10,000 views in the first 24 hours.
Yeah.
And I can get 15 to 30 subscribers.
So you get more subscribers from the shorts.
More subscribers from shorts. Yeah, absolutely. And you'd think to yourself, if you were trying to build your subscriber base, you'd be doing more shorts, right? Yeah. Well, I do one video and one short just because that's in my mind, that's what I can do. But YouTube cuts you off at 3 videos a day when it comes to notifications. So if you make 4 videos, none of your subscribers will get notified of that 4th video. So you want to limit it to at least to just 3. Well, I only do 2 a day. So, but needless to say, I was telling him, I said, I was watching somebody's shorts speed, and they did a short on the new Lego minifigure set where they showed you the entire set, and then they focused on one particular character and did like a turnaround of it and just talked about it. And I'm like, I used to do that in full videos.
You did, yeah.
All the time, and I haven't done one in a while just because it takes so much damn time to do. But freaking A, I could do shorts for that stuff all the time. And another thing I haven't made a video of is my new slab books. So what I've been starting to do,
you could do a video per slab.
Is exactly what I'm doing, a short video per slab.
Yeah. Why don't you just do one long pre-recorded video with a bunch of slabs and then use software to chop it all up? Auto short.
So that
auto caption, auto short. Yeah,
because that takes time.
No.
I literally right about the 10 minutes before we started this video, I recorded all 3 of my shorts for tomorrow. All I have to do is just put them together with the images, and I'm done. But the bottom line is, I'm now putting daily content back on my comics channel, and there are shorts going up. And my first short, which went up the 17th, had 422 views.
Oh,
wait. Second one only had 26. The third one had 220. And of the 3 I put up today, one has 139 views, which my channel was only getting 20 to 25 views like a month because I hadn't been putting up any activity. Now I'm building that activity again.
MK says,
it was you and Dusty that kind of inspired that, because you guys were doing that taste testing with your short videos, and I just blew that off as, what are they doing? They're wasting time.
It works. It's just we gotta. Yeah, there you go.
Get back to it. Do it. Yeah.
Yeah. MK says, I missed the comic channel. What was the link? I could have sworn I subscribed when you mentioned it. Can you put that in general chat in the chat?
Sure. Let me find it. Do.
And we were doing prawn music there, MK, because in the green room, Andrew was threatening to take his clothes off in order to get ready for our show tonight. So,
really? Did I really do that?
Well, you did. That is something that happened.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I jokingly said that.
You weren't joking.
Why is Stream? Oh, you know what? I haven't logged into StreamYards in so long. It was having me log in. That's the link to my YouTube channel. Ah, we lost stock.
Great. Everything's fine.
So you want to see those Iron Man books that I got?
Yeah, please.
Mm.
So these, I'm actually a little jealous on this because you got some great deals.
This is Iron Man number 5 from.
Actually, guys, real quick, I have to step away for a few minutes. I apologize.
Okay. This is Iron Man.
You're there.
His audio must have been really loud because now that he's gone, I can hear again.
Oh.
Iron Man number 5. This is 1968. It's a 6.5, which puts it in the top 75% of graded books.
That's a great looking book, man.
It is.
Yeah, nice cover. Who's the bad guy there?
Let's see. Frenzy in a far-flung future, and it says Krylla. Krylla appearance. I don't know who that is.
Krylla
or something. But the next one I got, issue number 7, features Gladiator.
That's wicked.
If you ever watched the Daredevil Netflix show, Gladiator was actually a character in there. He was the guy.
Was he?
Where he retired and he became the guy who made Daredevil suits.
Oh yeah,
he was a villain at one point. And he was the Gladiator, and that's issue number 7. That's a 7.0, and then this is issue number 8 featuring the Gladiator as well.
I like that cover better.
So that character actually has been around for very many years. So, nope, these were cool. I was very happy to get them. And once again, these are books that if they never sell, I would gladly keep them in my collection, my personal collection. So,
what else did you get this week? I know you got more.
I got a whole bunch of Walking Dead comics that actually have already been claimed. I have a father-son duo that's collecting Walking Dead, so I'm selling them to them pretty much for
have them. We can look at them.
Yeah. Well, here, you guys want to see a really sad one?
A sad comic?
This is actually one of the earliest Walking Dead issues I have, but it's also like a lower graded book. This is Walking Dead issue number 22 from 2005, but it was an 8.5 copy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the greatest condition, but I mean, even ungraded, it's a $20 book.
Mm-hmm.
But
ooch.
The case got a.
Was that in shipping?
Yeah, it happened in shipping. But you can tell by the label because by the label, the newer labels, the cases are thicker. Mm-hmm. And you can see by this one where it says white pages underneath the number. On the older ones, they were much thinner cases, and it says white pages here instead of underneath here. Mm-hmm. And these cases are just so much thinner. And this was actually packaged with 11 other slabs, and this is the only one that came broke.
That's probably why they thickened them up, you know.
Oh yeah. But I bought it for like $15. And it cost $20 to re-slab a book, so the guy just gave me my money back. Which means nice. if I take it out of the case, it even at an 8.5, it's still worth $20. So I may sell it to somebody for 10 or 15 out of the case. So
that's cool.
But
MK asks if that was where he loses his hand.
I don't think so. Not in that issue. That's I think it's a little later. But you want to see the ones the videos that I'm making for tomorrow include Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man number 26, Knight's Terror Ravager one shot number 1, the Dustin New Wind variant, a 9.8 copy of that. I do too. That's the reason why I got it, because that's a nice looking cover.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And then the third one I did was actually, this is back from January. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 362. It's a 9.6 newsstand copy.
That's actually worth something.
Yeah, it is. But the funny part is when of the videos that I'm doing, what I'm doing is I'm showcasing the book, and then I'm also giving you the CGC census grading census.
Mhm.
This book has been graded over 9,000 times, with more than 4,000 of them being 9.8.
Wow.
So yeah, there's a lot more better copies out there than this 9.6, but then again, it's still gorgeous, you know. The funny thing, the Ravager, there's only 13 copies of that book graded, and all 13 are 9.8s. I have another one, Die number 1, which is a 9.8. When I looked up the census, there were like 17 copies of that book graded, and they were all 9.8s.
That's awesome.
9.8 is common with newer comics, but all right. So you want to see some of the this is a stack of ones I got in this week. I've made videos of some of these, but not all of them. This is Green Lantern number 106 from 1978. It's a 7.0 copy with a Mike Grell cover featuring Green Arrow and Green Lantern. Very nice.
That's wicked.
This is the aforementioned Die issue number 1. They actually made variants of this book for every issue, I believe, where they changed out the dialogue balloons that were on the cover. So it's the same exact cover, but the guys were just saying something different. This is actually like the 5th or 6th variant, but still, it's kind of funny. Just so you know, what they're saying is, ugh, these guys bleed all over the place. And the other guy says, how rude of them. And so they just changed the dialogue boxes. Here's one that you might actually might like, Todd. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 800. This is the Mobius variant, but this is the Mobius Virgin variant.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's cool.
Isn't that a gorgeous looking picture?
Yeah,
it's just like,
yeah, I love
this. This is literally a piece of art that you would put on your wall. You know?
Yeah, I really loved his. Marvel stuff.
Now, these are just random issues of Walking Dead. I actually won 8 more auctions for 8 more different books to come my way. But this is issue number 166. This is a 9.8 copy of issue 166. This is issue 181, featuring Princess and the leader of the Commonwealth Guard. Yeah, it is. It's a good cover. It's a good cover. It's also another 9.8. I got 2 here. This is Walking Dead number 125 from the All Out War storyline. This is a 9.6 copy. It's a nice cover.
Now you bought all these Walking Deads because you have a customer that likes them?
Yeah, I actually have 2 different customers that are into them.
Okay.
This is issue 116, part of that same storyline. Kind of these connecting covers. This one actually is also one of the older cases, the thinner cases, but still, it's kind of cool. Yeah, the 2 of the 6 that I already sold them includes, there were alternate covers for a storyline, the Whisper War storyline, that Art Adams did like 6 connecting covers or 5 connecting covers. And so far I've gotten them 2 out of them, and they're very happy with those. So I'm always on the lookout for more. This is issue number 175, featuring kind of the introduction of the Commonwealth. If you've watched the TV series, these characters are going to look really familiar to you. And these are 9.8s. This one is actually kind of an early issue. This is issue number 105. And just to give you an idea, Negan shows up and kills Glenn in issue 100 of the series. So this is issue 105. So this is after that event. This is issue 191, which is close to the end because I think the series only went to 193. You have Rick there holding up his. Actually, I don't think this is Rick. I think it is Rick, but they eventually made a statue of him at one point. I'm not sure if that's the statue or not. This is issue 180 of The Walking Dead, part of the New World Order storyline. And
those covers are great, man.
Oh yeah. And the last but not least, this is issue number 179.
That's cool.
And another 9.8. So a bunch of
the whole series was done by one guy, right? One artist. I mean, I know.
No. Tony Moore did the first like 10 or 12.
Right. I mean, okay, with the exception
and then
of
Allred did everything else. Yeah.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah. No, it's like this issue 22, the one I have down here. This is actually Tony Moore did the cover, but he didn't do the interior. The interior was done by Charlie Allred. So he was still doing covers for them, but not, So, yeah. Well, I mean, same writer and the artist. There was only 2 artists. That's like Invincible only had, 2-3 artists. Had Corey Walker, and then it had, what's his name? I mean, you get a good artist and you ride them until they die, pretty much. Speaking of artists that have died, Michael Zulli, we talked about that last week, didn't we?
Yeah, man.
Which is pretty sad. Yeah.
Hey, hold on. I'm going to be right back. I'm just going to turn the air on in this room. I'll be right back.
All right, cool. We'll talk about you while you're not here. Is it just me, or has his nose gotten bigger? Is that a Jewish thing? Is as you get older, your nose gets bigger?
I haven't left yet, Andrew.
I know that, right?
Oh my gosh. My office is hot as hell too, and I can't do anything about it. I usually go Web3 pants free, but the other day it was full Monty.
Oh, I had a scammer lady on earlier where I said to her, hey, has anybody ever told you you sound really cute? And she chuckled and said, yeah. I said, okay, well, what are you wearing?
Shit.
And she didn't answer, and I said, she says, I'm at home, I'm working from home. And I said, ooh. And then she hung up on me. But it's always funny to do that.
Jeez Louise. So I finished oh well, Todd's back now. I can do mine.
No, go for it. What's up?
I was gonna say I finished the Acolyte last night.
Oh, haven't done it yet. Haven't gotten there. I'm still on episode 4 or 5.
Okay.
Well, we switched over to Your Honor on Netflix. We're almost to the end. We got 2 episodes left in season 2. So,
well, you better hurry up because it's gonna get spoiled for you.
Oh, I've already seen some things.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We got The Boys season 4. We have to start watching. We have what else? Just there's a whole bunch of stuff that came out that we have to watch. So
we're on The Boys too. We've got pretty far in that, but just quickly go back to the Acolyte.
All right, just to get it over with, right?
My final review.
Okay.
My final review here is I like it.
Really?
I didn't understand it. Okay, I'm not saying it can't be better, mind you. I see what they're trying to do. I'm not so sure about the execution, but I just kind of imagine that the direction is better and some of the actors are better, and then I just play it out in my own head. But as far as what they're trying to imply, they're trying to show the hubris of the Jedi as always, and just in that
Well, I absolutely loved the costume for the bad guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's
that mask is just scary as hell.
It's super. It's super good. It's super good. But it's just it still plays out too much like a series made for young adults, like the CW series, the dreadlocky guy and all that kind of stuff. And it's just you could do what you're trying to. They're trying to show that this whole I'm a Jedi, I'm devoid of emotion, or I've mastered my shit, is BS kind of. It's we all have our people, we still have passions and things like that. Those things are shown in all of the original movies well, but they're played effectively where it's nuanced, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to be but I love, don't say it, don't say the L word, kind of thing. It's just come on. But ultimately, I think I like the story. They telegraph everything. What's happening. It's very easy to figure out. But I still was able to glean some enjoyment out of it. The last 2 episodes made all the difference.
Okay.
That's all I'll say.
All right. Well, after the first 2 episodes, the wife and I kind of put it lower on our must-watch list to the
Me
point
too.
if there was something else to watch, we were watching something else.
Yeah.
You know, and if we only had time to watch one episode of something, it was whatever else was, you know. Your Honor has been a really, really good show. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. That's the Bryan Cranston show.
Oh,
it had one season on Showtime, and I'll be honest with you, Netflix picked it up and made a second season. So when they released it, they released both seasons at the same time. So the second season had not been seen on Showtime where it was originally available. So when you go to Netflix, you get both of them. And had I seen the first season on Showtime the way it ended, I would have been pissed if there wasn't another season coming.
Man,
so Netflix did good. Netflix did good by picking it up and making a second season.
Yeah, dude. This is what they did with Raised by Wolves on HBO. They did 2, maybe 3 seasons. I can't remember. And it's like they finally started getting into the meat, like the real meat of the thing. And then they're just like, we're gonna cancel that. I'm still very upset about that. That's a good show. It took a while.
I've really liked the idea of a show coming out on a channel, getting canceled, getting picked up by Netflix or somebody else.
Yeah.
And continued. At least
The Expanse is a prime example.
Continued to wrap up the stories, to finish what they started.
Yeah. Sloppy seconds.
Well,
it should be just a policy.
I mean, one of the shows I absolutely adored was The Killing.
I didn't watch.
I don't know if you guys. Okay. Do you remember the movie World War Z?
Yeah.
Brad Pitt's wife, the redhead chick, she is a detective in The Killing, and the other guy that's the detective is. Did you see the RoboCop remake?
Yeah.
Or Suicide Squad? He was Flag in Suicide Squad.
Okay.
The skinny guy with the mustache, who's in lots of stuff, but you never remember his name.
Yeah.
He's in this. It's him and her. They're detectives, and they're working on the murder of a young woman. And it literally takes 2 seasons to solve the murder. Well, when that was done, that was the end of the series, and they brought it back and made a third season, which was about them and a case. It had nothing to do with the first 2 seasons. First 2 seasons, gut-wrenchingly emotional, to the point where if you're not crying your eyes out by the end of it, you're not human. You know.
Which show was this?
The Killing. And it was, when it first came out, it was a young teenage girl gets killed. Who did it? And it's very much. Todd and I had a conversation a couple weeks ago about comic book cliffhangers, in which really good stories that leave you on a cliffhanger kind of push you in a direction and say, okay, you see where this is going. You know where this is going. Here's the cliffhanger. And then the next issue flips it completely on its head and totally shocks you, takes you completely, you get blown away that it's going in a whole different direction.
Yeah.
This series did that with every single time they found a clue to who it could be, there was a twist, and it was like great. And you just sat on and by the end, you're like, the girl, I guess, had made like a video and left it for her parents, and they found it at the end of this, and they watched it, and it's her about how much she loved her family and all. It's just like ripping your heart out, emotional.
Yeah.
But it was a good show, The Killing.
Huh.
And
That's
but
cool.
yeah, highly recommend it. But you got to. It's also one of those ones that deals with young people and some of the stupid shit they do, especially homeless young people. So if you're not the type of person that can handle that, like kids and young women and boys selling themselves, to survive, don't watch it, because there's a lot of that in there. There's a lot of that kind of in there, and it's very a father of children, of boys and girls. It rips at your heart seeing stories like that. So,
speaking of,
by the way, wait, I have one more thing. I went to the grocery store this morning. I was picking up a bottle of wine for my mother-in-law, and I got carded. And I turned to the lady and I said, just out of curiosity, no, I'm not going to hold this against you. How old do you think I am? Guess what she said? Guess. Come on, play a game.
I don't know. People keep calling me grandpa and ask me if I qualified for the senior discount yet recently. So I don't know.
Todd, how old do you think she think? And she was older woman, probably in her mid 30s or so. I got carded at Walmart this morning.
Yeah.
And I asked the lady how old she thought I was before I showed her my ID. Could you guess?
Well, she carded you, so she must have thought you were under 21.
Well, no, obviously I was over 21, but I mean I got a beard.
Then why did she card you?
Because that's what they're supposed to do.
I
asked her how old she thought I was.
I'm going to say 40.
Very close, very close. Doc?
43?
Yeah, no lower, believe it or not.
Oh.
Zach, got a guess?
No idea whatsoever.
Whatever, Avery. 38. She said she thought I looked 38, and I was like, thank you very much. Here's my ID.
One of the benefits about being overweight is all the fat fills in your wrinkles.
It's
like God's natural Botox.
Face. Yeah. And she was shocked when I told her I was 50.
Oh.
That made my day. Made for a good day. And then the scammer who told me he loved me. That just made for a perfect day.
Wow. Awesome. Well, I was going to make a joke about selling my body as a child, but that's gone now.
Well, I'm glad you didn't, because that's horrific.
It was horrific. But listen, here's the thing, because you mentioned it in the last deal. So I'm just going to touch base on this, and I want to point out how wrong I was in the way that I thought this worked. Is we thought we were kids. I don't know how old I would have been. 5th grade, maybe 6th grade, something like that. Stayed at my buddy's house. We live out in the country, right? I mean, there's like nobody there. We thought it'd be hilarious to basically have me stripped down to my underwear and get a cardboard sign and, sit there on the road, wait for cars. This is like at 11 o'clock at night, by the way. The problem was,
Wait. Yeah. Why did you all think that would be hilarious?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure that I came up with it, but because I thought it'd just be funny if like, hey, here's a kid out here with a sign that says, but it wasn't like, we'll fuck for money. It was really backwards. It was like, we'll work for sex. Like it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Anyway, a car did pull over finally, and then promptly went to my friend's parents' house. It was like, do you know what these children are doing?
Oh, wow.
Look, man, I like to color outside the boundaries.
Sure.
Push the envelope a little bit. But will work for sex doesn't make any sense.
No, not really.
I'll work.
Clearly, I didn't quite know how the world worked. I knew how part of it worked, but not all of it.
I saw it was kind of a documentary on porn stars, and supposedly the inequality of pay in porn is like huge.
Oh, it's huge, dude. Dudes don't.
The women get lots and lots of money, and the dudes get barely anything. It's because they're getting sex.
Well, it's because yes, you're right. The women do get a lot. Porn industry is disgusting for one, but the people that are in it's like really, really bad. But I mean, I would ask for a lot of money too if I was doing DVDA or something like that.
Well, supposedly, like if a girl gets 200, a guy gets $50.
Yeah,
it's it's disparaging.
Wait,
there should be a political candidate.
What was that pay scale?
There should be a political candidate out there rallying for equal pay for men in the porn industry, in the prawn industry. Sorry.
Whatever, man. They don't get degraded.
Well,
it's like a hobby. It's like, hey, I love golf and I get paid $50 to go play. Like,
well, actually, the fact is a lot of those guys, they tend to moonlight on both sides of the fence. Gay for pay is not just a joke in that industry. Although
I wonder how much two gay guys get paid.
Actually, I think they get paid more for gay porn than they do for straight stuff.
somebody out there needs to research that and find out what the pay scale is.
Not
that I'm looking for a new hobby or a new job, but
I hate to tell you this. If you or anyone watching is thinking about going into that field, you don't actually make a lot of money working for. I don't believe you make a lot of money working for like old school porn production companies anymore, because every time they put something out, it basically gets ripped off on the internet within moments. I mean, the people who are making bank in that industry are the ones who are basically who use the industry to make a name for themselves, and then they jump on OnlyFans and leverage that to make money that way from simps around the world. Not that I've ever participated in that, either as a producer or a contributor. I swear I haven't.
Good to know, Zach. Good to know.
I was going to start an erotic lawn mowing OnlyFans, just me in some like fringe jean shorts and a cowboy hat out there on my zero turn.
I hate to tell you this, Doc, but there's probably someone out there who's going to be turned on by that. And
that's the point. I want to make money without actually having to take off my clothes, because I'm not sexy.
Yeah, but
if I can find at least one or two weirdos who think that's awesome, I will exploit myself.
Yeah, but you might find one or two guys that think that's awesome.
I really don't care. I'm not looking at them. They're looking at me and my.
Well, it's funny that actually
and my diamond pattern lawn mowing skills.
That actually brings up an interesting thought about the age in which we live in. So, it used to be, before the internet came along, that there were gatekeepers in pretty much every medium, including pornography. So, because like the systems of distribution were fewer, and the control was in fewer hands, and basically more people had more. It was the age of like 3 channels or 100 channels on cable or whatever. Magazines, newspapers, videotapes, and the thing is, and all access to all of that to get to if you were part of the swarming masses outside who want to get into the magic garden of whatever your preferred means of expression might be, publishing or acting or doing weird stuff on camera, from doing like disgusting things on camera for money. There were gatekeepers you had to go past, and what that meant was that a lot of the more weirder subcultures out there didn't really have a chance to flourish, like outside of the deep underground, where you would really have to look, and if you were lucky, you might find like 1 or 2 things in a year that sort of scratch that itch, and not just like for X-rated stuff, but like for music and comics and so on. Because I mean, like all the underground comic stuff, those guys had to do it themselves, because why would DC and Marvel hire Arthur Crumb? I mean, maybe they did at one point. I don't know. I mean, but or like all like if you were a music nerd, and you didn't like hair metal back in the 80s, there was there's all that underground stuff out there, but you had to look for it, and there really wasn't a lot of it compared to what the mainstream was making. But I think the thing about the internet is, by taking away the gatekeepers, you've not only blown up the mainstream, you've also allowed pretty much every fringe subculture or taste or tendency or fetish out there that previously wouldn't have had the oxygen to breathe, now all of a sudden has a whole bunch of wide open doors it can fly through. And yes, maybe those, whatever those things are, they may have like, relatively speaking, a fairly small number of people who'll be into it, but now they have the ability to find each other. And if you can find like that particular niche, that's small enough that in the past it would have basically been ignored or denigrated as like perverted, but it's now large enough to actually make money off of. Well, you can make money off of it.
You could say the same argument for pop culture in general, or anything, just to bring it back a little closer to center. Is that?
Wait, pause, time out. I just want to give a shout out to Carrots. What's up, Carrots? He says, congrats on the new book. Hope everyone is doing well.
Thank
you. Doing good, man. How are you, dude? Been doing good, man. A lot of stuff.
Thank you, Carrots. I appreciate it. I'm gonna.
But yeah, you could say that about pop culture in general. And as far as finding your audience, that's also why we are making stuff in blockchain.
That's the thing.
Bringing it all back around.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing I've been trying for the last couple of days is to figure out who my audience is. It's probably gonna take a while, but oh, nice carrots. But no, think about it. I mean, look. I mean, let's compare like the two biggest female stars of yesteryear and today, Taylor Swift versus Madonna. Now, I remember back in the '90s, you know, when I was a kid, I was never a fan of Madonna. I mean, I like some of her stuff, but you know, I mean, I was like, I was a moody alt rock guy. You know, Madonna wasn't my thing. But the thing is, even if Madonna wasn't your thing, you couldn't escape her because she was everywhere. You know, because you know, if you turned on, like, if you stayed up till like 1 a.m. to watch 120 minutes, you know, so you know, just to catch like maybe like that weird European, you know, I like you know like to catch like any weird alt rock videos that weren't being played during like prime time.
Mm-hmm.
You had to sit through a lot of Madonna related stuff. You know, you turn on the radio because there was no you know Spotify back then or streaming radio. If you want, and you didn't have a CD, turn on the radio. Well, if you weren't within range of a decent college radio station or a good rock station, you get top 40, which means Madonna. You know, she was on the TV. You know, you turn on the TV, you know, and you know, she'd be interviewed, or there'd be clips, and you know, you basically the point is, we had more of a unified culture, and so the people who were the stars within that culture, you really couldn't ignore them because unless you basically wanted to really tune out. Now you fast forward today, Taylor Swift is arguably the biggest female. Is the Madonna of today. You know, a little more clean cut, obviously, a little more country, but I don't know a whole lot about her. And I'm aware that she's out there. I know she's had a very big tour. I know she's very, very pretty, and I know that her music is very, very bland, at least to my ears. But the thing is, I don't know anything more about her. I don't have to know. If I want to completely cut Taylor Swift out of my life and ignore her, I can, because you know it's a wide open frontier now, and I can basically like ignore all the shit happening in the next valley over, you know, in favor of my own little weird goth rock, you know, prog rock, you know, personal piece of heaven. And you know, that's the thing, you know. There's I guess what I'm saying is that if everything is a subculture now, and if we create a situation where any subculture, no matter how weird it is, can find its own little place in the sun, yeah, well, I'm sure about that's what I'm glad yeah, anyway, to Todd.
Carrots, by the way, Carrots, congratulations on your new gig. Carrot says, just get yourself a 19-year-old daughter, and then you can't avoid the Taylor Swift madness.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, but if you're a single 47-year-old Gen Xer who's more in the days when music was actually good, although I think every generation says that, you can ignore it now. You couldn't ignore it back then. I mean, whether that's good or bad, I don't know. I mean, look. I mean, people talk about how we don't have like water cooler shows anymore. You know, like I think Game of Thrones is probably the last one. I mean, we got The Boys today, and that's plenty perverted. But
that's not a water cooler show. You can't talk about literally anything that happens on The Boys.
You could, then you just end up going.
So did you catch that episode last night where the chick shrunk down and walked in that dude's dick? Like it's not workplace appropriate.
I don't know.
It depends on your workplace, I suppose.
But no, it's weird because you know it's like with X-rated stuff. It used to be that great. It used to be that well, you know what? I'm gonna shut up now because actually I have no idea what I'm talking about, and
you're making good points. I want to bring it back to porno and nerdism for a second, and just talk about how I just got this feeling in my heart that I want to go watch. I want to watch Orgasmo, man. It's been so long since I've watched Orgasmo. The South Park guys.
I've never seen that. I've never seen
dude, it is one of the honestly one of the most hilarious shows ever. I mean, it's about a Mormon guy who can't afford to marry his wife and gets roped into being a porn star and an actual superhero in the process. It is one of the funniest fucking movies ever.
Is it live action?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, cool, man.
Just arrived on my doorstep. Got the notification, had to go run and get it.
Damn, that's a big book.
Yeah.
That's
Wait, hold on. Let me.
He kicked himself. That's funny.
Oh. Yeah, apologies in advance for the map. I don't know. It didn't come out as well as I hoped it would.
Yeah. Hold on. I want to put you on solo, Andrew.
Okay.
Now hold that book up. Let's see that book. Look at that.
Nice.
Now, is it supposed to have the black bar at the top and the bottom?
Yeah, that's my fault. I didn't know how I couldn't resize the I was having trouble resizing the image to the template.
All right.
Are there any pictures?
No.
No. There's a map, but it's actually really blurry, as I just found out. But it's POD. You do what it's it's the quality is going to be questionable, but it's legible, it's readable, and that's all I care about.
Look at the picture he used as the picture of the writer.
Well, yeah, that's his picture.
Yeah, you don't want to see my actual ugly face.
That's what he looks like. That is what Zach looks like.
No, that's how Zach wishes he looks like. Zach's actually not as. That's how Zach would look like about 30 pounds and 20 years ago.
Now, did Amazon do the printing on this?
Yes,
or
it's
okay.
print on demand.
Okay.
I mean,
that's not bad for print on demand.
No, it ain't.
Pretty awesome, man.
I'm not.
I mean, you got a whole ass, real big, chunky book.
Yeah,
you did that, man. You did that.
I know. Awesome. Now all I got to do is convince people to do what Andrew did and fork over money to buy it.
I found a spelling error.
There's going to be a few of those.
I'm just kidding.
All
right, very cool.
When you're in the indie writing game and you don't have money to actually hire a copy editor, you do the best you can. But there's going to be, blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah,
it's basically unfortunately typos come with the. I went over it 4 times with the tooth comb. I got most of the worst ones out of there, but.
Well,
dude, you did awesome because look, man. You get all these people like, I got some like ebooks on Amazon, and they're like, they're like this kind of thing, right?
Yeah,
that's a full on. I mean, that's as big as Dune, bro.
Yeah.
That's like a lot of pages. That's no shit.
Yeah,
that is like I commend you.
Well, look, when it comes to indie writing, there are two ways you can go about it. There's like quick, publish a lot or publish a little. And which is that the publish a lot guy, which is the most common way, they just write a lot. Mm-hmm. You write a lot. You mentioned those small books. Well, people make money doing that. But what they do is they print out a book a month, but it's like 20,000-30,000 words a month.
Yeah.
And you just put out like one a month and just keep shitting it out there. It's basically like modern day Pulp Fiction, basically.
Yeah. No, I get. There's a system to that, but I'm just comparatively though. I mean, it takes a lot to pump out a full-size novel.
Well, that one took me about 13 years.
Right. Yeah, that's incredible.
Well, not 13 years on. It was 13 years on and off. I can't write that fast. I like to take my time. I like to do it right.
Mm-hmm.
So I spent like the last year basically like hyping the book up on my Substack.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been out for 2 days. And like I said in the green room, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
It's awesome, man.
I got the book.
Ever done.
I just got to like figure out who the audience is. So that means basically a lot of trial and error with Facebook ads and Amazon ads and seeing what works, what doesn't. And
yeah, of course.
But no. I mean, look. Thanks for buying it, Andrew, and for showing.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a copy too. My office. I never have my wallet in my office because it's not my house.
All right.
But I'm gonna get one. I promise.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick one up
too.
Actually,
if you do get the ebook version, because the royalty rate's actually higher on that one.
Sure.
Yeah. Royalty rates is like 70%. Right. Rates like 10%. But
yeah, we'll do.
But print rate, you actually get the hold the book, so that makes up for it.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Andrew.
I also got my USB extension cord.
Andrew,
now my on-air sign is now lit up again.
Andrew,
good.
thank
I
you.
need one of those.
No problem. No problem.
Listen, I'm going to mute because that noise you're hearing is actually my aircon, and I have a whole bunch of cats who are demanding that I cuddle them. So,
well, I got a comic collecting potential grading question for you guys. I was looking, and I actually have like 23 of the 25 issues for the series Nova, the man called Nova. I have issue 1 already graded and in the store, and I recently bought a whole bunch of issues. Turns out I'm only missing 2 issues to complete the entire set. So these are all ones I'm thinking about getting graded just to have a completed graded set. Now, I know most people aren't stupid enough to do that, but then again, we're talking about me. But there's series that I'm collecting in order to have a complete graded set, including, and I have added to that collection. I recently added Spider-Woman from the 70s, the Savage She-Hulk from the 80s, and I'm considering adding Nova. So I wanted to show you guys these covers and see what you guys think, whether or not these are worth grading just to have them as a collection. I mean, I have all the issues, almost all the issues. I'm missing 2 issues, but having them graded, just, if you got the issues, you might as well get them graded. You know what I mean? Like, I have a complete set of Miss Marvel, all 23 issues, and I have like 4 issues of that series already graded. So now my goal is to grade all the rest of them to have a complete set of graded copies. But this is one that I'm putting on my possible list, but because I have so many of the issues, it makes it even more possible. So if you guys want to take a look at the covers, I'll show them to you.
Yeah. I will say this. Well, you go first, and then I'll say something. Let's see. Solo layout.
Okay. So this is issue number 2.
Now wait, you're collecting the series.
Yeah, I pretty much of the 25 issues, I have 23 of them already, including number 1 already graded.
Got it.
So, but the question is, do I want to send these off to be graded to have a complete graded set?
That was my next question. Like, I know you were talking about it, but I didn't know if you had made a decision yet.
Yeah, well, I'm considering it. But since I have so many of the books, I could easily throw them in a stack for them to sit on for the next 20 years until I actually get around to getting them graded.
Right.
So, but this is issue number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Issue number 3.
Yeah.
Which, Todd, when you start looking at some of these, you're like, you can see the inspiration for Eric Larson's Savage Dragon in some of these covers.
Now, did he do Nova covers?
He did a later series of Nova. He actually went after started Savage Dragon. He went back to Marvel,
right,
and did a Nova series.
I know Nova is like one of his all-time favorite characters. So.
Yep. Issue number 4.
That's cool.
Issue number 5.
Oh, that's wicked.
Which I actually have 2 copies of. Issue number 6.
That's cool. That looks like a classic cover, like the back of the character.
Mm-hmm.
With all
Yeah. Issue number 7. It's kind of got a Jack Kirby feel to it, you know?
Yeah.
Issue number 8. Issue number 9.
That's cool. That's like a classic DC cover almost.
Issue number 10. Yeah. They have so many great characters fighting bad guys. You know,
That's pretty cool.
Issue number 11. Who is
the artist on the series, man? And who's the cover? That looks like a John Buscema.
Let me pop it up. Well, actually, no. Instead of popping open, look, I have.
That looked like a Buscema. I mean, I just saw it for 2 seconds, but the pose looked like a Buscema.
Yeah. I'll show it up again.
That's a great cover.
Yeah, that's wicked. That looks like a Buscema to me, but I can't really tell.
Issue number 11. Let's see. Details. Marv Wolfman wrote it. Sal Buscema did the interior, and Rich Buckler did the cover. So, and I'm missing issue 12. Issue 12 had Spider-Man on the cover. Issue 13.
Yeah.
Issue 15 I'm missing as well. I mean 14, but I have issue 15, which I almost got a copy of this graded for like really cheap. So Issue 16.
Mm-hmm.
Issue 17, which has the claw.
That's a cool cover.
Yeah. Issue 18. Issue 19. This one, I've never read the issue, but I'm familiar with that image because this character, Blackout, in his official handbook of the Marvel Universe, this is the image that they use, like down at the bottom when they showed the character. This is the image of him. You know, it's just kind of cool.
Cool cover.
Issue number 20.
Is that like Jolly Green Giant and Sherlock Holmes had a love child there in the doorway?
Says also, what is Project X? It actually looks like a Sherlock Holmes robot.
Yeah. Okay.
Issue 21, where he's revealing who he is, and issue number 2. I have another copy of 21, 22, 23.
That's cool.
24, which I have 2 copies of as well. And the last issue in the series, issue number 25, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I think I might have a graded copy of this one as well, because I was picking up graded copies just if I got them at a good price. I picked them up. So, you know, I have a bunch of those, especially issue number 1, which is probably the one that's the most valuable. I already have a copy of it graded. So if I decide to collect it, that's like Spider-Woman. I already have issue number 1 graded. So if I collect the rest of the series, everything's downhill from there. But it's just one of those things. I'm debating adding it to my personal collection, personal slab collection, collecting.
Personal slab collection, collecting.
Yeah, like the Eternals, the original Eternals series. There were like, I think. Let me actually look it up real quick. I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. It's the last thing I want to do is tell you the wrong thing. There were 19 issues, and I think I have like 11 of them already slabbed. So that's one I'm going to collect as a slab. I have issue number 1, even though the case is cracked. I have to redo it, get it redone. But I already have issue number 1, and I have several other issues from this. I think I have 11 out of the 19 or 18. So 19 issues. So that's one I'm collecting just simply because I have so many of them to begin with.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I picked up that Chris Samnee artist edition.
Yep.
It is phenomenal. Like, it's probably like this guy. I wish I could show it to you. It's just every time I put the art on camera, it doesn't look, it's not as impressive as when you see it up close. But it's a masterwork, man. Like, it is.
I thought it was funny that Romel didn't know what those things were.
What
kind of a box is he living in, you know?
Dude, we need to get him one for his birthday or something. Like, he needs something. Like, holy crap.
That's what happens when he's so disconnected from us, you know?
I know. He's missing all the good stuff. But it was, the artwork in this book is so intricate and so well thought out. It's a true masterwork. It really is. That's saying a lot, because I thought his Daredevil work was a masterwork, and it is as well. But this is like, the Black Widow book that he did. I mean, it's just immaculate. Like the light to black composition. I'm always intrigued by the stuff that I can't do, or that I don't personally do well. Like, I'm really good at detail and volume and shape. And he's all shadow. He is Alex Toth, Mike Mignola, like, right. His work, you know what it is, Andrew? And I will say, I'll show you this. The reason I'm so excited by it is because, it's the first 6 issues, so it's this book.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But if you look at it, and I know the colorist is supposed to be good, but the colorist just doesn't do it, man. Like you can't really see what's going on there.
Very muted.
Very muted. The whole book is very muted. And you see this and you're like, oh, that's great. Like, it looks like a comic, but I'm telling you, the amount of detail in the black and white art It's astounding, and it you know what it is? It's because he does a page a day. He is a page a day guy. It is, what if John Paul Leon could draw a page a day?
Okay.
That's what it is, and it's just, he's John Romita Jr. Punch in, punch out, but man, what he gets done in one single day, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Really, impressive to me. So I wanted to share that, and I will also share that we going back to TV. Melissa and I have been watching The Boys, but I think this season I think we're kind of done. Like,
I've heard a lot about this 4th season.
Yeah, it's just the writing there's a couple things. The writing has petered out a little bit. It's still good. It's a good show. But it's like the first 3 seasons were phenomenal writing, like really good. And it was a good story. And it had the kind of the violence and all that kind of stuff in it, and kind of humor violence. But it was well placed. This season, they just pushed it into 2 directions. They said they went super hardcore into the gore, and it's like, and it's not gore like, oh gross, it's like perversion gore, and perversion, like talking is perversion, like they're talking about perverted things like it's a common occurrence, right? To the point where it's like they're just all freaks.
Yeah, it's not as funny.
It's not as funny, and then they went the writing, like so far we're on like, I think we have like only one episode. Maybe they've released another one this week, so maybe 2 episodes back. The story is not really there. Like they made it public. They wanted this season was Homelander is Donald Trump and whatever. You want to bring politics into it, fine. I don't care. But it's not done well. So the story is really clunky, and it just doesn't. So the story doesn't totally work, even though they've pushed it into like an agenda-based thing, where it's clearly the writers are having a platform. Right?
Yeah.
Which is not bad if the writing is good. Who gives a shit? But the writing's not that good this season. So they've moved it into the writing into a direction that's going to alienate some of their audience, and then the gore and humor moved to the other direction of perversion, where it's just not. It's kind of troping itself.
Yeah,
right?
I agree. Yeah, Yuli's not enjoying it as much, and it's true. It's it's when you're trying to, like, they had all that commentary, the social commentary and stuff like that in there before, but it wasn't as overt.
Well, it was well written. That's what I mean.
Yeah, it's well written. But if you're writing specifically with that to be in the forefront, that's when they start losing the steam, because it was like that commentary was there, but it was adding pieces of it was world building with it, and still social satire as well, especially with like the social media and all that kind of stuff. But here it's just like so like in the forefront that it's like, I get it, like, this person's that person, this person's that person, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Well,
I agree.
Well, to be fair, I mean, a lot of the political stuff in the earlier seasons, they did kind of make an effort to try and sort of balance it, a little bit. I mean, like the Newman character is pretty much like a giant piss take on AOC, and I guess Jim Beaver's character, Dakota Bob. Well, in the comic books, he was basically Dick Cheney, he's like a kind of like a take on like Dick Cheney as a cowboy, and they kind of kept that in the story. But yeah, again, it was like, look, the sympathies of the writers were always pretty clear, but it wasn't overt. It was kind of like it was there, but it was just kind of like yeah, we get it, And it didn't overwhelm the story. That's not really the case. I mean, I'll be honest, I've only seen bits and pieces this season. I mean, mostly because I just stopped watching The Boys. Like my problem with The Boys is the problem I had with the original comic or anything written by Garth Ennis. It's that it's based entirely on shock value, and once you get over the shock value, there's not a whole lot there. I mean, that's the problem with like shock anything, shock rock, shock movies, whatever. Is that what's initially shocking after like one or two viewings? It's like okay, we get it. You're edgy, but what else do you got? And a lot of times they don't have anything. I mean, that's like with it's like with the comic book. It's like with anything with Garth Ennis. I mean, if you anything with Garth Ennis, you know what you're getting. You're going to get a lot of blood and guts. You're going to get a lot of profanity. You're going to get a lot of jabs at religion. You look at like Cross, Preacher, and all that stuff. That's you know what you're getting, but you get past that, and it's like, and when he's good. I mean, like the stuff he did with the Punisher was great. And when he's when there's a story behind the shock, it works. But when there isn't, it's like it's like a little kid who's discovered that shouting the word "fuck" gets people to laugh.
Mm-hmm.
For like the first 20 times, but then like after 50 times, it's like it just gets tiresome. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Well, I thought in the first couple seasons there were some really good character development. At least in some of the characters that I cared about, like Wee Huey's character and Starlight's character. There was some character development that was worth watching the series for, But if it becomes nothing but shock this and shock that, it kind of loses you,
I thought that the way they portrayed Butcher in the TV show was actually better than the comic books. Because in the comic books, he reads kind of like a giant act of like uber macho violent wish fulfillment. I mean, he's basically an unstoppable monster killing machine. And also in the comic books, spoiler alert, all the boys took Compound V. They have superpowers as well.
Yeah, I never saw the spin-off show. Have you guys watched the spin-off show?
Yeah. No, I haven't seen this. I saw the animated ones. But not the generation.
Yeah, we watched it. It was good. It was good, and okay. It's also sad because the actors Chaz, Chaz, he was in Sabrina the Teenage Witch. He died, and I was really a big fan of his. I thought that he was he kind of played a certain character, but you could tell he was really intelligent and had the potential to break out and do some cool stuff. It's pretty sad, really. But yeah.
Which character in Sabrina was he?
He was the cousin that worked at the mortuary. He was the one that actually did.
Yeah, the British guy.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, that sucks because I love Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I loved that.
Yeah. I don't think I ever finished the last season of that.
Oh, I enjoyed the hell out of it all the way to the end.
I need to go back.
It's like it's like Marilyn Manson. Or actually, no. You go back even further. You guys remember a band called Venom? They were like a metal band back in the 80s.
Yeah, that was like the first.
They were like
death metal band.
They were like the first band that like openly proclaimed themselves to be Satanists. Whether or not they were actually Satanists, I mean, most of those metal guys who actually are, it's like they do it just to shock people. And when that stuff came out in the 80s, it was like, holy shit, this is shocking. This is scary. Go forward 10 years, and in the 90s, it's just like laughable because now we had Marilyn Manson. And he was scary. He was freaky, and it turns out he actually was also a rapist, but that's a whole other can of worms. But the thing is that, like after those first couple albums, like Manson was like, okay, we get it. You're the Antichrist superstar. But dude, your music sucks. At least that's how I read it. And, it's like, I guess, I kind of get the same feeling with the boys. Like they keep, let me put it this way. How do you tap, like the giant orgy episode? What was it called? Like
Herogasm.
Yeah. I mean, how do you top that as far as being sick, perverted, and degenerate? I mean, if there's I just feel like that with this season they've you're right. They've leaned into the gore, but there's nothing else there. At least that's my feelings on it.
So who's excited for Deadpool Wolverine?
I'm very excited.
Somebody did a short where they were talking about the clip that Deadpool the trailer where Wolverine says, "All right, who's next?" And then Sabretooth jumps off of the thing, and Deadpool gets him ready to go after Sabretooth.
Mhm.
And they reveal how, if you look at those scenes, they're out of order, because when he says, "All right, who's next?" he doesn't have the swords in him, and he's standing in front of the vehicle that Sabretooth jumps off of. So that scene actually takes place after he goes after Sabretooth. And there's actually a clip, spoilers, a clip from the movie, or like from behind the scenes, where it shows Deadpool actually holding up Sabretooth's head.
Mhm.
So what they're saying is that the scene where he goes after Sabretooth and challenges Sabretooth and then he says, "All right, who's next?" could be the introduction of the Hulk. Because supposedly the Hulk's going to be in there where he fights the Hulk. So,
well, if you're gonna go down swinging, man, like as a movie franchise,
isn't this like the movie that's supposed to basically reboot the MCU so they can kind of get out of the rut they're in right now?
Not really.
Well, it's supposed to combine the X titles into the MCU, or find a way to combine them into them. So.
Here, you said this. Have you seen this new one? The Wolverine documentary, the nature documentary.
No.
Ryan Reynolds says, he posted this today. Many of you haven't been asking about the rumored Wolverine documentary that we didn't spend much time making. And then it's this video. Let me turn the volume out.
Is this the one where he's laying on the couch on the bearskin rug?
No, okay. You have not seen this. Came out today.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna play the whole thing. I don't think Ryan Reynolds will care. So also share audio tab. Okay. All right. See the screen? Ready?
The North American Wolverine, or Gulu Gulu Luscus, is actually kind of a boring animal. Yeah, we went out and shot like 15 hours of footage, and these are literally the highlights. The highlights! It's a member of the weasel family, known for its thick, oily fur and pungent aroma. I can vouch for the pungent aroma part, especially after a dance number. The Wolverine is one of the largest and laziest members of the weasel family. Here we see an older male Wolverine, sadly sulking out of its den one last time, probably for a paycheck. Oh, there's a dead squirrel. Maybe we'll get a squirrel girl team up. Nah, that would be interesting. And as I said, the Wolverine, well, it just sucks.
All right. That's going to be funny.
It's going to be pretty good.
Yep. Who's already got their tickets, or who's got plans to go see it?
When's it coming out?
July 26th, I think. I think we're doing a family thing on August 4th, which is Sunday.
Well, hey, Trump's speaking right now, so
we're good.
Good for Trump.
Yeah, good for him.
He's not on Nerd Den.
Oh, it's not Trump. It's Hulk Hogan. They got Hulk Hogan there.
Great.
All right, so we went and saw.
Glad you're paying attention, Zach.
We went and saw a movie. We went and saw Fly Me to the Moon with Scarlett Johansson and
How was that? I've heard
it was good. It was good, but they have very stale chemistry together. At least that's what I felt like. I mean, she looks great. You put her in 1960s clothing, and she looks freaking fantastic. There wasn't a single shot of her where she's walking away where you're not just salivating at her ass. Just wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. There was nothing wrong with her look in that movie. So, I mean, go see it for that. Well, actually, there was something that I didn't realize in the movie, and this is not a spoiler. Okay, there's a black cat that's running around the Kennedy Space Center, and Tatum Channing's character is trying to get rid of it, right? And I turned to my wife and I'm like, I completely forgot that black cats are supposed to be unlucky. That if a black cat crosses your path, it's unlucky. I have a black cat, and I never once put 2 and 2 together and said she's bad luck. And then we're on our way out of the movie, and my daughter and my wife turned to me and says, Dad, you do realize that your daughter has a black cat and your son has a black cat and you have a black cat. All 3 of us have black cats. It just never dawned on me that could be a bad thing. It could be an unlucky thing. And the reason I think it is, the reason why it went right over my head is because I believe the owner of a black cat is immune to the bad luck that happens around black cats. There's something there. There's something there. They don't get affected by the black cat unlucky vibes that black cats give out, because the cats choose them as their owners and love them. Well, I don't know if they love them or not, but they choose them as their owners, which means the negative, unlucky aspect of a black cat in your home is negated because of the fact that black cat chooses to be in your home.
That literally makes no sense.
It makes perfect sense to me.
That was an interesting theory. Sorry, my camera's off. I have my kid here, and I was going to have her say hi, but she's too scared to come on camera.
Oh,
but she's
okay.
listening. She's listening with us.
Oh, and there were 2 previews, and both previews I was interested in until the preview kind of spoiled what the movies were about. There was one with Blake Lively called It Ends With Us. It's about a woman, Blake Lively, who's gorgeous, meets a guy, gets married, and then she runs into an old boyfriend, and she kind of has a feelings for the old boyfriend. Well, the twist in the movie is that her husband is violent and assaults her from time to time, right? And I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to go see a movie about a woman who's getting abused by her husband, you know? And then the other movie was a movie with what was the guy's name? Played Spider-Man in the second Spider-Man.
Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield. It's Andrew Garfield and Sandra Pugh. And in the movie, they're like young lovers and they have a daughter and they're telling the daughter about their life together and all this stuff. And then at one point, you see Sandra Pugh with her head shaved. And you're like, oh shit, she's probably going through cancer or something. She's going to die. And I'm like, I don't want to go see a movie with gorgeous Sandra Pugh in it where she's going to end up passing away from cancer. It's like, I don't want to see either of those. I don't want to see Blake Lively getting beat by her husband. And I don't want to see Sandra Pugh die of cancer. You know, it just sucked. I mean, the whole setups for both movies were like, oh, okay, I could go see these chick flicks with my wife because they got Sandra Pugh and Blake Lively in them. I'm all down for it. And then it's like, oh, no, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see either of those. Sucks. My life sucks. Because I'm probably going to have to be dragged to go see both those movies. Just simply because my wife gets to choose from time to time. But Florence Pugh, she's pretty hot. And Scarlett Johansson, frickin' go back to sleep.
Yeah. I guess. I don't have anything to follow up with that, man.
All right, well.
It's kind of hard. Oh, wait. Oh, I've been missing comments. I'm sorry, guys. MK, what's up, man? MK said, gotta catch up. I'm sorry. Yeah, Gen V was good. I'm so bad. This is like 10 minutes ago. But there too did the shock value.
He's talking about The Boys.
Oh, The Boys. Yeah, that man is just a marketing genius. I don't know who that is. And heck yes, opening night.
Talking about Wolverine and
Wolverine. Yeah, that I am excited. That is one of the. I haven't been excited for a movie in a long time. He says can't afford useless waste of spaces who post spoilers the same day.
There's a lot of spoilers coming out about Deadpool, Wolverine, but I don't know if any of them are going to make a difference because there's so much more to that movie, you know?
Yeah, and he's praising you for the Black Cat thing, I guess, because you're housing an Anubis relative. Black Cat's showing appreciation,
and she loves me. So,
is that a thing? That sounds like it might be a thing. You know,
funny story about that. Well, first off, there's your kid. First off, I have a black cat, and
you just showed up on the thing. That's all.
All right. But the second thing is,
we can hear you, Doc. You want?
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. My bad.
Tell him. Yeah. So, remember when Once Upon a Time in Hollywood came out, like about a week before the movie came out, I went on the Wikipedia page for it, and apparently there was a full plot outline of the movie on there, and as I recall, it basically involved Bruce Lee, the guy playing Bruce Lee, and the guy playing the female lead, what's her face, played by, my head is a mess today. So it was Bruce Lee, and the lead actress, and Brad Pitt's character, and Leonardo DiCaprio's character as well. And the climax of the movie was supposed to be like a giant kung fu fight against the Manson family. Yeah, Sharon Tate, Margot Robbie's character, Sharon Tate, and according to this, the plot in the plot outline in Wikipedia, it was supposed to be a giant kung fu fight against the Manson family, ending in I think with Sharon Tate with either Sharon Tate or Brad Pitt's character kicking Charles Manson's head off or something like that. Then of course the movie came out, and the plot was very, very, very different. So I remember thinking at the time, was someone in Wikipedia just having a laugh, or was this deliberate misinformation on the part of the production team? And if so, I just have to say, the bullshit story they came up with was a lot better than the one that was actually in the movie. It was a good movie, but seriously, thinking a giant kung fu fight with the Manson family, starring Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been something.
That is a really odd. Sounds like a really odd movie to me.
I think people put out misinformation just to screw with people, but I've also seen people who put out dead accurate information just to screw with people. I mean, Todd, I don't know if you remember it or not, but when the last Avengers movie came out, Ethan did an entire live stream where he actually laid out the entire plot of the movie. And I'm listening to him, and I'm just curious because there's no way he found out about the whole plot of the movie and was spoiling it, but he did. And there's at one point where he's like, yeah, and then the Hulk comes in, and he's the intelligent Hulk, he's the Professor Hulk, and I'm no, they're not doing that. They're not doing. And then he said something else, and he said and then they have to go back in time, and I'm like, oh, that's bullcrap. They're not going to do that. It was word for word, the entire plot, the entire story. I don't know why he thought that was a great idea. I guess it's to get clicks, to get views, whatever. But he literally laid the whole thing out. And the entire time I'm like, no, they're not doing that. No, they're not doing that. And it was 100% true.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad when you can just completely guess that shit, man.
I don't think he guessed it. I think somebody told it to him or gave it to him.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But some people do it just because they suck.
Yes, people suck. I don't know. I I try not to. I really do try not to look at spoilers. But to be fair, I also don't get to like watch too many movies or watch too many TV shows. I'm just too busy making stuff, which is good, I guess. I feel like you're either like a maker or a consumer, I guess. But yeah, I've just got too much shit to do. But I feel like one day I'm going to sit down and just like binge watch a decade of streaming shows. Although I don't feel like I've missed anything. Like there's certain shows and certain movies that people are like, dude, you've never seen that, and I'm like, oh no. But
you really haven't, dude. You really haven't.
But yeah, it doesn't feel. I mean, you know, I do when someone's like, no way, like what Doc was saying with that South Park thing. Like I'll probably watch that Orgasmo.
Oh, it's
like,
good.
Yeah, like if someone's like, no way, you haven't seen that, then I'm like, okay, well maybe I should see it. But like outside of that, I don't know like why. I don't know why I would jump in to watch a bunch of shit, you know?
Yeah, my mother-in-law kind of chided me because she was talking to my son about space movies, like because we were going to go see Fly Me to the Moon, and she was mentioning Space Cowboys with Tommy Lee Jones and so forth, and my son was like, I've never seen that movie. So she chided me for not ever making him watch Space Cowboys, for him to be unfamiliar with it. I'm like, well, okay. That was never his thing, but okay, it's my fault he didn't watch it. So, but I remember liking Space Cowboys. It was fun.
It's fun.
Yeah. Oh, damn, I just realized this comic has a big, huge chunk out of it. Out of the cover. Got a nice little chunk right there.
Oh, you noticed? You didn't know that?
Yeah, I didn't notice it before.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. It's an early issue of Tarzan of the Apes, issue number 3. Actually, it's 209, but it's the third issue, DC issue. But I'm not collecting the DC one. I'm collecting the Marvel one, so it's okay. It's not as bad. Actually, Todd, I have a couple of comics I put aside for you because they were too damaged to, you know, I'd either put them in a quarter bin or give them to you. But one of them was a like a Fantastic Four annual. Oh, let me see. I actually have it right here. I set it aside just for you. Oh, here it is. It's Fantastic Four giant-sized number 6 from, I forget what year it is, but look at this wonderfulness.
Hold on. 1 second. Let me push in solo. There you go.
This wonderfulness, but it's got a nice little chunk out of the side
Move your
of the page.
hand. You're covering the thing. The other one. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, sorry. Can you see the thing now?
Wait.
Can you see it, or do I cover it?
Yes. That's
Okay.
a wicked cover, man.
Oh yeah. But it's got a little. You can see the chunk out of the cover, right there, right where my eyeball is.
Yes.
But still, it's like a 68 page giant with some great pages like this.
Wow.
This is very much right up your alley. Very much right up your alley. Heck, maybe I'll just keep it.
Well, now just show us some more pages. I'm still showing you.
I'm getting there. How about this splash page with the Thing and Human Torch?
See, this is what I loved about what was that? Is that Kirby? No. Kirby era for sure. Is it Buscema? No, that would be Sal Buscema maybe.
Nope, it's Jack Kirby.
It is Kirby. So
Embellishments by Joe Sinnott.
Okay, so show some of those panels again. This is what I really like about Kirby stuff. Like, look how big those panels are. It's like a 5-panel page, a 4-panel page. He's putting so much stuff in there that it's just super cool, man.
You see panels like that top one.
Yeah, that's wicked, dude. He was on fire at that point. Like, and look at those colors.
Oh, let me see what year this came out. 75. So gorgeous stuff. But it's just a little too damaged for me to try to grade or sell, so I put it aside for my buddy. My buddy. My buddy.
No. We're not singing My Buddy and Me songs.
Well, I got something I gotta put in the mail to Zach. I still haven't done it yet, so I gotta get around to it. It's happening one of these days. Now,
sorry. My daughter Amelia is sitting next to me. You can't see, but she wants you to know that that comic was really cool. That 68 pages is a lot, and that she also wants to make her own comic.
Oh, excellent!
Oh, cool.
She can hear you. She's got an earphone in right now too.
Go for it. Do it. Start now while you're young.
See, practice drawing every day.
Yeah, you just draw every day and you just don't stop.
Yep. Draw every day and draw what you like.
And someday you can have all of this.
Or you can be as famous as Mr. Todd. My kids have always thought Todd and Avery are like two of the coolest friends I have in the world. They think they're incredibly cool, incredibly famous. They have no idea the truth, and they know the truth now. But they still think, like if your best friend was like, your best friend's dad was like Michael Jackson or something, you'd be like, yeah, I know Michael Jackson's dad. I know, him.
Was that you?
My kids are like, I know Todd Wanish and Avery Butterworth. Yeah.
Well, they should be better.
Yeah.
But if they don't know us by now.
They have fond memories of visiting you guys. So
Doug, you never know. I mean, you might have the next Rob Liefeld growing up in your house. Superstar
I know.
Superstar artist who goes on the Kickstarter revolution, and well, I mean that's both a good thing and a bad thing. Maybe a better choice would be the next Todd McFarlane, the next Easy.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Honestly, I'd rather be the next Mike Mignola, creating a whole universe of characters that you own. Like Rob Liefeld does not own all the characters that he created. Youngblood, he does not own. He cannot publish. He cannot republish the first issue of Youngblood because he doesn't own those characters anymore. A good chunk of them, But Mignola owns everything of his. And he's still publishing stuff to this day,
Yeah, he's pretty crazy.
Yep. He's also a better artist, and yeah. Now, I think Todd, this is a good question for you. If you could follow the path of a creator, who would you want to follow? And you really can't say Walt Disney. Because I'm thinking somebody who's alive, not dead.
Alive.
Yeah. I'd love to be a John Byrne, but I don't want to be a grumpy old man.
Yeah.
I
would. MK says, show her your comic, Drew.
I don't think I have any copies around here anywhere.
I have one.
I have copies at the store.
Hold on. Which one should I show? Book. I'll just show book one. I have it. Book two is in cellophane. I'll do two things at once. So, Hero book one.
Look, see this, Amelia. This is Drew's book.
This is Mr. Drew's book right here.
Yep.
And then, look at these great. Look at that amazing.
Dude, that's awesome. You've never, at least since I've been on, I've never seen. I saw a sketch that Drew made once, but I've never seen any of this.
Look at that.
Dude, that's awesome.
I have been trying to convince Andrew to let me make his book, publish his book, shill his book for a very long time.
As soon as it's done, it'll be ready to go.
Well, get on it, bro.
Working on it. Working on it. My goal is to have the first volume done and ready to go by the end of the year, and I haven't actually touched it yet. So that's the problem.
Okay, hold on, I'm getting the wifey is saying. All right, I'll be right back. I'll show more pictures in just a second.
Okay.
Dude, that's awesome. I've
you
never
want
I've
it-
never seen any interiors. I'd only seen a sketch.
Well, then go to
Before?
misfitcorner.com. There's a whole portfolio worth of.
Oh, okay.
If you go to my website, Misfit Corner. I haven't been there in a while, so let me go look. Misfitcorner.com. Down at the bottom, on the the left-hand side, it says online portfolio. This was a link that I created for when I applied to go to conventions and they want to see my stuff. And the online portfolio has a whole bunch of images, black and white images from the first 2 books.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Actually, some pages from the 3rd book as well.
Oh, cool.
It's all
Hey, Amelia,
art.
you want to print these out and color them?
Yeah.
Actually, I have prints of some of these that you can color.
Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll color some and bring them back.
There's actually, if you scroll down to the bottom, there's actually some pages from a coloring book that I was in the process of creating.
Yeah.
Called Little Hero, the Book of Zeus. And
Yeah.
what you
Oh,
see
yeah.
as far as I got. But yeah, that was supposed to be a coloring book. And then there's character designs of characters that I created.
Yeah, man.
A whole bunch of really great stuff in there.
I've
Look at
never
this.
seen any of this stuff.
That's
Look,
all
look
my
at how
art.
awesome this stuff is, man.
It's so freaking good.
It's so good. And Andrew
Okay,
was
Drew,
always like,
I
"Oh, I have
promise
to redraw
I'm
the
not-
book."
I'm not going to make any jokes at your expense for at least one show after looking at
No,
this
that's
stuff.
fine.
No,
I
I'm just
trust me.
kidding.
I deserve it. I deserve it in the fact
Look at
that I
that.
have this much work done and no copies. to-
Dude, this is
to
incredible.
sell.
There's some of these that are like these like wood block style or woodcut style that look so good, like with the oh man, all the cross hatching and stuff. What the hell, man? This is like really, what are you doing with your life?
MK says, "Make my art worth money." When Moon, Drew.
Hey, Andrew, did you ever get a chance to go to that place in Daytona?
No, not yet. We keep talking about it, but we keep. I literally. So this past weekend, I'm talking to the kid who's going to come and help me at my store. And I said, let me look at my calendar and see what all's on the calendar so I can figure out what day we can actually get together and actually do some work, right? I literally went home and the only day was Monday. There was nothing on it. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There was just my mother-in-law and my wife put crap all over the calendar. And I'm like,
well, you better hop to it. You better hop to it because I think they're gone in about a week, just over a week.
really? I thought you said they were shooting for the end of the month. So
Yeah, end of the month. That's like 12 days from now, or 13, whatever it is.
Well, my mother-in-law wants to go down just to go to the beach for a little bit. So, I mean, it'll be worth the trip just to let her go do something. But I still want to go by. I just have not had a chance to do
Yeah,
it.
just make sure you call ahead first. That guy's not always there. I mean, I think he's at this point. He's just kind of like.
Well, if he's there, he's there. If he's not, he's not. I mean,
If not, just like there's a whole bunch of other comic book stores in the area, and actually one of the guys is actually opening a comic book themed pizzeria just down the road.
oh,
So
okay, very cool.
yeah. Just
God, Drew, I can't get over how good this is. Sorry, I'm
Did
just
you guys see my sign? Did I show you guys the pictures of my sign?
what sign?
We put up a new sign at the store.
Oh, at the store.
Yeah, I've only been at that location for almost 4 years, and I just now got around to putting up a sign. I have a
That sign
banner.
is awesome, man.
I have a full color banner that's up there because I used to put it at the front of the tables whenever I'd go to conventions.
Right.
But I didn't really have a sign that people could see if they're walking down the aisle. Well, one of my regulars who does 3D printing and wood cutting stuff, said, "Hey, I want to do something for you. Let me give me an idea of something you'd like me to do for you." And I'm like, "Well, I always wanted a sign." And he went outside, and I said, "I can send you like a like a template of my logo and so forth. And he's like, okay, do that. Well, before I even got a chance to do it, he had gone to my webpage, found my logo,
right,
and had sent it to me. He says, is this the one you use? And I'm like, yeah, that's perfect. And like a week later, he brought in this wooden sign. It's got a white frame, a black background, and all the letters Misfit Corner Comics are in white.
Do you have the photo?
And, yeah, I'm looking for it.
It's like sandblasted or something, or CNC'd out.
I don't know exactly what he did. It was great.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, let me show you the picture. So this is the front of my store.
Hold on. There we go.
So this is the front of my store. Come on. And you see that little black box up there in the corner?
Yeah.
That's the sign that sticks out.
Oh, cool, man. Yeah.
So people can actually see it. Well, Todd asked me, so you're going to paint the front of your store? And it dawned on me, if you go inside my store, all the bookshelves, everything that we painted is either black or white. You know, the bookshelves, some of them are black, some of them are white. All the comic racks are white, and the sign is black and white. But the exterior of the store, the door frame and the window frames are all blue because that's what it was colored. It was painted before we got there, and I'm like, I never thought about it. So
can you paint it? I mean, that's like not against your lease. Dude, why don't you take a projector, put your art on there, and put your damn characters up on the store?
Well, we asked them about that empty space above the top. I said, can I do like a mural up there? And they're like, go for it. Do whatever you want.
Dude, put your own art on there. I mean, this would look
haven't gotten that far yet. I hear you. Requires, time,
I know. Dude,
energy.
I look, honestly, and I say this with like all sincerity, I'm still scrolling through all of this art, and it's so damn good. And I need you to keep going, man.
Well, I'm getting back to it.
How do I get a copy of that book that Todd has? Is that even possible?
Yeah, once I get more printed.
That's a no.
A lot of no.
I need copies of both of your books.
Yeah, I know. Well, I want to do like a NFT. We should just drop it as a digital collectible. Man.
Not doing an NFT of Hero.
Dude, shut up. This would slay, man. This would slay. Are you kidding me? Like you could build, look, man, you could look, clearly this is the team to like drive an entertainment project. This could be promoted. You could do drops of this and people would eat this up.
Let me just say, he's never gonna do it. He's never gonna do it. He's the most stubborn human being I've ever met, and I love him for it. But stubborn, I will say, all I'm gonna say is that like literally we could do, in my opinion, we could even do a free drop in exchange for an email address, and he would have thousands of email addresses for future sales. But
well, I think it's great. That's all I'm saying.
Well, thank you, Doc. I appreciate it.
I mean, I really do. I love it. I think it's so cool.
Well, what's so crazy is I actually have almost two books done. And I was 75 pages into the third book before I had my stroke and stopped. So
I see. I mean, talk about like great animation style, though. Like this would be so well suited for an animation. Just like what I love is that you have these characters, but then all of your like stuff in your backgrounds and stuff is so well detailed and so rendered, and the way that they kind of like play against each other is like really very cool. It's like a realistic style plus these awesome, cool, fun characters. Yep. Very neat.
MK says, "Get in line, Doc." It says, "LOL."
Yeah, clearly, I understand this conversation probably happened in a while.
LOL. We're revisiting a conversation from 18 months ago.
How sad.
Doc, he has a full panel art at the top, at the shop. Proudly own a couple.
That's so cool.
Yep. Yeah, I'm trying. We'll whittle him down, dude. We'll whittle him down.
Yeah. We're gonna have to have an intervention or something.
Yeah.
It's a matter of.
Please stop.
It's a matter. You've got to have like three things. You've got to have time. You've got to have a ability. You've got to have desire. I have the desire.
Okay, so you're retired and you have the ability. Give me another excuse.
Well, retired does not mean I sit around all day in my underwear. I
understand that.
It hasn't happened yet.
I know. I'm going to keep poking you, man.
My wife.
Maybe we just need to like put a bunch of Adderall in your pudding or something and lock you in the room for a weekend to get you started.
My wife was like telling me the other day, she's like, I barely see you during the week because you're always busy working on stuff. And I said, I know. It's just like before when I had a job. The only difference is I'm not getting paid.
Yeah.
So there's going to come a point where I'm going to need to get paid. So
look, I get it, man. Look, like it's like my dad, right? My dad. Oh, actually, he did do a lot of stuff. He was like really mechanically inclined, and maybe it's also like just kind of a countryism thing. You're like, what are you doing? I'm puttering around in my shop, and I'm puttering around, and puttering is very time consuming, and it feels like you're getting a lot of stuff done and you don't actually execute anything in the end, but you organized like a tray of nuts and bolts.
yeah well,
don't putter. I'm supporting you, man. I'm giving you a hard time, but I'm supporting you because I think this is so good and it needs to be seen by lots of people.
There's so much more that we want to do and have to do and want to finish, and it's going to happen. It's just
I know. And Zach, I know your book is also awesome. I just can't visually look at it on a computer right now, but I'm excited to read it as well.
It's very weird. You kind of got to have all your books in line. The planets have to align in order for your creativity to be able to be expunged properly. I absolutely know that. Because the last thing I want to do is spend a day working on something that comes out and looks like crap.
Yeah.
And that has happened. Trust me, if you asked Avery, because Avery did a color version of Hero Book 1, and I've told him there's a couple of pages that I kind of really want to redo, and he's looked at me and said, I know exactly which pages you're talking about, because it looked like some of the pages it looks like you just shit it out.
Yeah.
And you compare it to another page where I've got detail and it is like I was in a hurry and just wanted to get it done. And he's like, you can tell. And he kind of begrudgingly agreed with me on some things. But there's literally some character designs in the first book that I just absolutely have to redo. I have to redo it because it'll never be published again with the characters the way they are. I introduce, for example, there's a group of 3 wolves that are in the book, and they are wolves. They're not humanoid wolves, and I really want to bring those characters back, but I can't because they can't interact with any of the other stories that we've created, because like the 4th book is like a pirate tale. They go on a ship and there's a pirate tale. I want those wolves to be part of that story, but you can't put 3 full-size wolves on a ship. It doesn't work. So they have to be anamorphic characters. So I've already done the redesigns of them. I just have to redraw those panels. And
dude, this is like, I'm looking at this and I don't know the character name. Grace. She's got the sun umbrella. This is every bit or better quality as like DreamWorks Animation, any of these major animation studios that put out huge, super well-funded films.
You want to know a secret?
Yeah.
Grace is Hero's first love, and I know how the series ends. Mike and I have actually talked about it. I mean, I know the final scene, and Grace is there with their children, and they're getting ready to go on an adventure. And she's his first love. There's a scene I've actually drawn where they first come face to face, and yes, I literally stole it from The Fox and the Hound.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, 'cause,
Or
you
a
know,
little bit of Maid Marian from Robin Hood.
yes. Very much. Her design is very much from those characters.
But still, man, I mean,
Right.
that aside, you've got great character design. I love this guy
MK
with
says
the
better
peg
than
leg, too.
80% of the NFT projects out there.
Better than 99% of the NFT projects out there. Are you kidding me? I'm serious, man. We'll have to talk about this some other time.
Maybe one day I will do a story that can be just made into NFTs and never be made into anything else.
Dude, you take these character designs, we do lore games, we make a story, it can be a side story, it can be whatever, and you package that into a Bible, a log line, a script, or whatever, and you go sell this thing to someone who's going to turn this into an awesome animation, because that is the quality of this. And I'm just seeing this for the first time. This is my honest, genuine, hand to God reaction. This is every bit as good as anything that I've seen out there. You could sell this to a studio and get this actually animated. Like, that's my opinion.
Well,
do what you want with it, man.
I've always had the stance that if somebody else wants to take the story of Hero and introduce it in another format, whether it be animation or movie, even books, I'd be willing to do books, as long as I can continue to make my graphic novels, because I have a 10-book plan.
Yeah.
So Mike and I have a 10-book plan. We know exactly where this story goes. So we based it very much on the Harry Potter books, where in Harry Potter, at some point, Harry realizes that in order to beat Voldemort, he has to collect all the Horcruxes in order to be able to defeat him. Well, in our story, the main bad guy is looking for Hero, is trying to destroy him because of a prophecy. And each of his brothers and sisters has been given a gift from the gods. They've been chosen as champions of the gods, and whether they know it or not, some of them have no idea. And each of them has received a gift from the gods. So he has to go around the world, find all his brothers and sisters. He actually has 12 brothers and sisters. He has to go and find them and collect the gifts in order to destroy or defeat the bad guy in the end. And the whole idea was that in the Harry Potter books, the first books are like fun and games, and then by the end, it's all out war.
Yeah.
That's very much what our story is. There's fun and games and adventures, and there's going to be a accumulation, a war between the bad guy and the good guys, and the only person that can beat the bad guy is my main character, Hero. And one of the twists to our story is that when he gets to that point where he's going to have to challenge the bad guy and his army, which, by the way, the bad guy is called the Rat King. He's not actually a rat, but they call him the Rat King, and his horde of rats are called the Plague.
Yeah.
What else do you call a horde of rats? Yeah. But there's going to be a point in the story in which he turns, and all of his brothers and sisters are there, and all the characters that he's met in his adventures are there. They're his older brother Brock says, "We know this is your mission. This is your journey. This is how it has to end for you." But nobody said you ever had to do it alone.
Right.
And he's got all his family and friends, and everybody's there.
I got the hairs standing up on my arm, man.
Oh yeah.
Drew, you're full of love, and we gotta spread that love around.
MK says, seriously though, Drew, love that you're not a sellout, but man, you deserve to get paid / credit.
Yeah, well, we'll get there. I'm still young. I'm only 50.
Yeah, I think it looks awesome, man. It's got kind of I've just picked up on I don't know, a lot of different vibes, even the old Don Bluth animation stuff a little bit.
You know, I was inspired by that stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah. Some Secret of Nim kind of stuff going on.
I could throw out names of crap, and you're gonna yep, I see it. Yep, I see it. There's Indiana Jones. There's references to Star Wars, to The Hobbit, to there's so much stuff that we just. There's manga and anime that my son likes that he threw ideas in.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff that we love about entertainment, and we packed it into what little bit we've done so far, and there's so much more to do.
Very cool, man.
But yeah,
I really like it.
Well, fantastic, guys. Well, happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday, man.
Yeah, Nerd Den on a Thursday.
Nerd Den on a Thursday.
We'll be fun in Nashville.
Yeah, man, I'm excited.
Well, tell us again exactly what you're doing.
So next week is an event called Bitcoin. It's really just called Bitcoin, but it's really Bitcoin Nashville. And so it's a large crypto conference, and it's not just about Bitcoin. Like pretty much, we all travel in packs, so pretty much everybody in crypto just kind of goes from convention to convention, just like comics. So it's going to be really good. Lots of events, lots of people to hang out with and chill and see. And
Todd, do me a favor when you're over there.
Yeah.
Walk down like the main strip where all the bars are.
Uh-huh.
Take as many photos of drunk bridal parties as you can, because apparently
don't you see that in Daytona? Don't you get enough of that in Daytona?
No, and Daytona, we get drunk frat girls. It's right. We get drunk frat boys and their girlfriends. It's a bit of a different time. But apparently, what's the female version of a stag party, right?
Bachelorette.
Yeah. So apparently, Nashville is the bachelorette party of America.
Ooh, let's go.
So I expect many photographs of like degenerate debauchery to a country music to a country music theme.
Well, it's going to be batshit crazy because not only is it going to be the huge Bitcoin conference, but then Donald Trump is coming now and doing his first talk in public since, the RNC is going on right now. And he's talking.
Well, yeah, he's literally about to. Hey, there's Melania.
Yeah. So Trump is going to be speaking there. So is Kennedy. So is a bunch of other politicians that are
ton of people.
Yeah. So it's going to be. I don't even know, dude. It's going to be nuts. Now I'm not going to the main thing. I didn't spend money for tickets, so I'm not going to the main event.
Yeah. Dude, I'm going to try and get there. I'm going to try and shitcoin my way there. I already made $80 tonight on a shitcoin trade. So if I can repeat that about 8 more times, then I can probably do it.
All right. Well, you got our place to stay. We got a 4-bedroom house, and it's just like Melissa and I and the kids are coming. So
okay, cool.
We got 2 bedrooms to spare, but I'll give one. We're not planning to fill them up. So
yeah, all right, man. Yeah, I'm going to try and get there.
You're invited.
We'll see what kind of magic I can make happen.
Yeah. MK calls it hen night.
yeah. That's what they call in the UK, right? Hen night.
Yeah. Well, cool guys. MK, thank you so much, brother, for showing up. And Carrots, great seeing you again as well. And guys, it's gonna be fantastic. Have a good weekend. I'll probably be doing a lot of photos and pictures and posting them on Twitter and all that kind of crap. I try to when we do these conventions, I try to actually use it as a way to take off from work a little bit. So we'll see. I don't know if I'll be able to do all that because we got Web3 Comic-Con coming up. I actually have. I'll give you a teaser. I actually am not done with my evening. I have one more. MK says quotes of AF. I'm gonna ish coin my way there. I take screenshots of some of these, man. So that one's going in the screenshot.
Yeah. I mean, they got to be good for something, right?
That's true. No, but I will give you a teaser. I have an interview in another hour and a half.
Holy cow.
It's a late one because he's not in the United States.
Oh yeah, time.
But I'm going to be interviewing David Yu from Vivi, CEO of Vivi. So that is my later tonight, and that will be appearing and debuting, I guess, at Web3 Comic-Con in August 16th, 17th, and 18th. I'm going to put the dates up on the site tomorrow, I think. So.
Oh my gosh, I got to get mine booked. What's my theme? What am I even being interviewed for?
I don't know.
Just a guy. Here's a guy.
What's up?
Here's a guy we found on the street.
We're just some dude talking about another dude with another dude. Hey, what's up, Avery? Just in time. Yeah.
Hey, he did that to me. He did that to me Saturday. Showed up like with 2 minutes to spare.
I was literally about to close it, but so Doc, really quick, man. It's really chill. We're just gonna shoot the shit. I mean,
I know, dude. I'm not worried about it. I'm just joking around.
I know.
Yeah.
we'll talk about something fun. It'll be fun.
Ooh, question. I know we're not doing Thursday next week because you're going to be traveling, but what about Friday?
No, nothing next week.
Nothing next week at all.
I'm going from, so I leave Friday, which is tomorrow night.
Yep.
And we are back that Sunday. So it's like a full, I'm gone 2 weekends basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's going to be a nice little summer trip. And it's going to be cool. I've never gone to a convention with the family, like a travel convention with the family. So it's
that'll be cool, man.
Yeah. Avery, I'm glad. Avery said he couldn't attend because he hadn't slept in 24 hours.
Yeah. And
How are you feeling?
I've only slept a couple hours.
So why are you up now?
I woke up.
He had to go pee.
Yeah, I think that's why.
Probably why. Yeah.
Cool.
I feel hungover, dude.
Well, you shouldn't stay up so late. I know you don't have a choice, but
Yeah, you don't have a choice when this happens. And when I finally did start to go sleepy, I had to take my mom to her physical therapy.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Well, just FYI, no Nerd Den tomorrow night, and we're not doing Lore Games or Nerd Den next week because I'll be out of town. But then everything ramps up right after that. So.
Yep.
But anyway, guys, I love you all. Have a good weekend. Avery, I'm glad I got to hear you for a minute.
Yeah.
Your dulcet tones.
Yeah. I'm so tired, dude. My eyeballs hurt so bad.
I'm sorry, man. Well, try to take care of yourself. Try to get better. We will see you guys in a couple weeks. All right.
Sounds good.
Love you all. Take care. God bless. See you soon. Peace out.